You know what I don't really like to talk about? All the unread books I have, because then it reminds me that I have a full shelf of unread books. But we're gonna talk about them today because I was tagged the intimidating TBR tag. Another thing I don't like to talk about, books that intimidate me. Because they're intimidating, but it's okay. It's okay, we're gonna talk about them anyway. I was tagged by Books and Book Dragon. I will leave their links in the description. Go check them out, maybe if you feel like it. Thank you for tagging me. I'm gonna have the best time ever with this tag, starting now. Question 1, what book have you been unable to finish? Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before. I don't know why I haven't finished this. It was good when I was reading it. I was enjoying it, but then I set it down. Never picked it up again. And I don't know why I haven't picked it up since then. Someone just needs to yell at me to finish reading this because I can't seem to do it on my own. So in the comments, yell at me. Go for it. Question 2, what book have you yet to read because you just haven't had the time? Under the Dome by Stephen King. This book is, for starters, it's a weapon. Yeah, try to sneak up on me and I will take this book and smack you across the face. You will be knocked out. 10 points to me. I am actually excited to read this book. I plan to read it sometime this year, and I just haven't decided when this year I will read it. Hopefully soon. Maybe if someone wants to buddy read this with me, let me know. That would sure motivate me a lot more to read this because this book, weapon, it's a weapon. What book have you yet to read because it's a sequel? Jaws 2. This book is actually based on the screenplay / movie, so I don't think you could really consider this a sequel. I mean, technically it is, right? I didn't want to read this until I read Jaws, which I did not have, but I just got it not too long ago, so now I could read Jaws and then read Jaws 2, the screenplay adaptation. What book have you yet to read because it's brand new? I have a lot of new books because I have a book buying problem, but the newest book that I bought recently that intimidates me is this one, Slouching Toward Nirvana, New Poems by Charles Bukowski, who I've never read anything by. It's also poetry, which I don't read. Poetry intimidates me a lot. I'm scared I'm going to read this and just not get it. Or what scares me more is that I'm going to read this and not like it. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know. What book have you yet to read because you read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it? The only book I had on my TBR that I could think of was The Curious Case of Benjamin Button by F. Scott Fitzgerald, who wrote The Great Gatsby. And I hope you don't all hate me for saying what I'm about to say. I'm not the biggest fan of The Great Gatsby. I don't hate it, but I can't say I like it either. I read it in high school and it didn't click with me. I was probably just stupid and didn't get it, but The Great Gatsby, meh. I'm looking forward to The Curious Case of Benjamin Button though, so hopefully I like this. What book have you yet to read because you're just not in the mood for? All of these books. This is a trilogy by Robin Hobb about dragons, I'm assuming, and I like dragons. Don't get me wrong, dragons are awesome, but I've slowly come to realize over the last year that I don't think I like fantasy as much as I thought I did. I haven't read a lot of fantasy, but I loved The Lord of the Rings, so I thought that meant that I did like fantasy, but since reading The Lord of the Rings, every time I read a fantasy book, I end up not liking it as much as I thought I would. Either I don't like fantasy or I'm reading the wrong fantasy books, so we'll see. What book have you yet to read because it's humongous? The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. I don't know if I said that right. This is a book I bought because of BookTube, and I am actually really excited to read this book. I have no idea what it is about, but it was a winner of the Man Booker Prize in 2013, and it's insanely huge. This book is going to be a big time commitment once I actually do read it, but I am really excited. I've been looking forward to reading this for quite a long time. What book have you yet to read because it was a cover buy that turned out to have poor reviews? Serafina by Rachel Hartman. I bought this because of the cover. Can you tell? Look at that cover. Oh my gosh, the reflection is beautiful. This cover is gorgeous. and you're lying if you think it isn't. I was very excited to read this book until I started hearing not so great reviews on BookTube. People started DNFing it, people were just not fans of it, and that made me incredibly sad. I'm reading this book, I'm over halfway through it. I will say that this book is hard to get into and I could see why people don't like it, but for me, I'm enjoying it. I like the world building, I like the storyline, but we'll see. I'm only halfway through. I could end up hating it, I could end up loving it. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know, but this is a beautiful cover. What is the most intimidating book in your TBR pile? The most intimidating book in my TBR is a book that I actually got in the mail today, and that is The Complete Short Stories of Ernest Hemingway. I am extremely new to Hemingway, never read Hemingway before. I barely read The Old Man and the Sea like last week, so I don't know what I'm getting into. I'm very intimidated to read this book because there are a crap ton of short stories in here. I didn't realize how many there were in here until looking at the contents, and I'm scared, but it's okay because I can do it. I can read it. At least I keep telling myself I can. And the last question is, who do you tag? I don't know. I feel as if everyone has done this tag. If you're watching this and you have not done this tag, consider yourself tagged. If you guys have read any of these books that I talked about in this tag, leave a comment below. We could chit chat, yada yada yada. And that's all I really have to say today, so I will see you guys later. Bye!